Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention for a moment, please? A little bit of shush if you don't mind. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Gascoyne Football Association, a big thank you to all the girls that participated today from the Exmouth Eagles and the young girls that participated from Carnarvon to help out. A big thank you because you've made the day something special, so thank you. I'd now like to hand over to Justin, the coach, to say a few words.
Okay, that was a pretty good game. Good exhibition, girls. I know you just don't get to play too often, so big effort and good skills and good teammanship, so it was really good. I've got an Idaho award here. I'm glad she stayed back. The charisma that she displayed through the game and the skills that she got, Yumi, well done. Here's an award for you. We'd like to see you come back, please. Well done, great game.
Thank you so much.
That's all right, there's an Idaho award, that means you've got to come back.
You. All right, I promise to come back.
All right, no worries. Good.
Okay, well done, great effort. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll now go on to the first and best for the day, the best on ground. I'd like to introduce Mick Kane from the South Fremantle Football Club.
Thanks, Blue. Congratulations, girls. It was a great game. Some really good skills out there, and I think it's fantastic. Apparently, the footy program up here for the girls is really booming, so keep going along with that. A couple of mentions. A special mention to Matilda from the white team. You played very, very well. But the decision for best on ground goes to number 4 for the black team, Ollie. Yeah. Well, for the Eagles, I should say.
Thank you, umpires, and the other Exmouth girls that played. You guys played good. Good job. Thank you.
Good girl. Well done. Thank you. Where are you, Blue?
All right, well done. Okay, we'll now get Justin to call up one at a time, and we'll present the medals. Thank you.
Okay, so first we'll start up with Izzy. So well done, Izzy. Okay, then we got Lily. Then we got Beck. We got Yumi. You're up again. Rockstar. We got Sophie. We got Keisha. We got Jade. We got Wallara. We got Violet. Now we got Jessie. Nah, wrong one. Bianca? Nah, wrong one. Oh yeah, see, there we go. Okay, now we got Jess and Jessie, yeah, both of them. We got Georgia, Molly, Ruby number 1, Claudia. We got Pearl, Olive, Lulu, Megan, Lena, Sophie, Matilda, Bev, T, Delilah, Lila, Ivy, and Summer, and Lacey. There we go. That's making me red. Well done, girls. Good football.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Gascoyne Football Association, I'd like to present this year's 2026 Cup to the Exmouth Eagles, and Sophie, the captain, come forward. Get in there with the girls, get in there with the girls. Photo. Take that upstairs, mate.
That's live all the time now, yours.
Righto.
So you'll have to do the pre-game and then go to Louis after they come the points. Yeah.
Righto. Got enough?
Authorised by the Australian Bureau of Statistics, Canberra. It's time to complete your census. If you know where you'll be on census night, Tuesday the 11th of August, you can complete the census for your household as soon as you get your instructions. Visit census.abs.gov.au.
because it's on the list. Ramblers, Tigers.
Can you let the umpires know I'll be speaking? Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention for a moment, please? I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land and waters on which we gather today. I pay my respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all First Nations people here today. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Gascoyne Football Association, welcome today to the 2026 Gascoyne Football Association Grand Finals. Today's senior game between Ramblers Tigers and Exmouth Eagles. Ladies and gentlemen, just a little bit of housekeeping before we go any further. There are bar facilities, canteen facilities over there. Please adhere to the licensed area, and also bins around the ground for the rubbish and for the recyclables. And just a safety message, ladies and gentlemen, today, please don't drink and drive. Make your way home safely, belt up, and get home to your family safe. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are now able, ladies and gentlemen, if you are now able, please stand for the Australian National Anthem.
Rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and wealth of toil. Our home is good by the sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every saint of birds Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing of birds Australia fair.
Two captains toss the coin now. Rob and Brett.
Hey, Bluey, they asked you to say something about making sure no one was in this side.
Oh, yeah.
Throw to Louis.
Okay, we'll now throw to Louis for the call for today's game.
Thank you very much, Bluey. You absolute legend, the Vice President of the Exmouth Eagles Football Club, and of course our Master of Ceremonies today for the big one, for the 2026 Grand Final in the Gascoyne Football Association. The mighty Exmouth Eagles, who have been scintillating this season, pretty much been invincible with an undefeated streak all the way through, up against the most recent premiers outside of them, the Ramblers Tigers, who last triumphed back in 2022. So Exmouth looking to make it 4 on the trot and 5 in this decade alone, which would take their total to 11 since joining the competition in 1993 while the Ramblers, they're still a long way ahead in terms of overall premierships won. Their 2022 triumph, making it their 45th overall since they entered the competition in 1948. As you heard from Bluey, my name is Louis Bulzomi. Honoured and privileged to be on the call for you here for Filming Footy with the legend, the doyen, John Douglas behind the camera, and of course Brandon Woolhouse running things on the tech side, making sure that we are beaming to you live all around the country, all around the world, in fact, via YouTube. Of course, we do thank our Filming Footy sponsors, Dartfish, Archie's, Great Southern Fuels, AFGRI, the Kimberley Accommodation Group, Delta Ag, UTF Trailers, Corrigan Hotel, Wild Gravel, Alum Lube, Omnibus, Classic Clashes, Gallagher, Premium Grains, the Management Gateway Hotel, Pemberton Hotel, and Macron. While for the Gascoyne Football Association, our major sponsor is Santos. Platinum sponsors, Exi Hire, Exi Water and Ice, Exi Plumbing and Contracting, KJ Gay Group Tyres and more. Gold sponsors, Galvin's Plumbing, Sea Halves, Idaho, Potshot and Sitzler. Silver sponsors, a lot of those, and we are truly grateful for all of you. Babcock, Exmouth Waste, MS Cabinet Makers, Benco, Exmouth Wholesalers, Pilbara Pest Company, Celebrations, IGA, Sheds Down South, DLR Building, Jetwave, Tackle World, Exmouth Freight and Logistics, and Jups Floor Coverings. We've got them all in just as the siren sounds to kick off the 2026 Grand Final. Can Ramblers derail Exmouth season with the only loss being when it matters most? Here's the captain in Brett Byron. He's dispossessed, but he was able to find a teammate regardless, and they get the first clearance crucially to right half forward down towards the club room end here of Talangi Oval. All kept alive, but there for the Eagles waiting is their skipper, Rob Apanui, and they maintain possession nicely here. Bit of three-man weave work. Stephen Murphy off to Brady. But Brady's kick is ill-directed though. Back into the hands of the skipper Byron for the Tigers. Drills a pass in, just misses, lands down. And that allows the defence to get back onto it for Exmouth, but the kick was partially smothered, so Apanui Rob comes in again to lend a hand. Initial handball went back into him, but then he was able to 1% just belt it away on all fours, and finally the kick comes out towards one of their vice-captains in Fitzgerald. So Fitzy steps on a dime and turns around. The kick is okay too, and now they're loose here on centre wing. Howe, inside step kick, just misses Agnew. Harrier unable to retrieve the ball back in time, and the Ramblers Tigers do very nicely to outnumber him to get back to right half forward, but it's going to come back ping pong style. So nice and hot early, good movement from both sides here. As Ryan, the silky wingman, able to silk his way out of that tackling attempt. Almost a clash of heads there, nearly friendly fire. Barry Bellotti, speaking of silk, was one of those. Unfortunately now for Ramblers, they lose the footy, and once again Apanui, it's already 3 disposals so far, able to go lateral and find Lee, who then sidesteps his opponent, finds some space through the middle, nearly coughs the ball up, but knew he had the composure to regather. 1-2 there with Field, and then sets this one up inside 50 nicely. Mark is taken by Wilson. He plays on. Bit too overzealous there. Wanted to find the coach in Reed. That's one of the very rare times that you can be forgiven to not go for the coach. The kick was too short in the end. Mark taken by Readings. So he comes the left half back and finds Bonesy Schmidt. Schmidt inboard towards Laycock. Unable to gather that marks. It bounces off his chest as well as a spoil. And then the tackling attempt on Reed was successful, holding the ball. So the Ramblers up for the challenge at the moment. And there is Tom Voldemort Richards. Wizardry stuff with that tackle. As Ramblers come away now to the broadcast side, the tennis court wing. For 1-on-1, but it'll be a 2-on-1 now in favour of Exmouth. Well done by Agnew to cut that off in towards Cooks. And now they combine here through Field, who's away. He now draws Brady in, who centres it up and finds a target this time. And it's taken by the leading goal kicker in Bailey Fisher. Beautiful contested mark. Using all of his body size there to make it almost impossible for any defender to go after him. And a well-weighted kick into him as well. So Fisher wasting no time here to commence his approach for the first score of the 2026 Grand Final, the Gascoyne Football Association. It will be a score, but it's a minor one. Just the one behind, 3.5 minutes gone in his first term. And Fisher, based on the Play HQ stats records, 44 goals in 6 games for season 2026. Far and away the leading goal kicker for this season. While the next three behind him, Jared Faithful, 16, Sam Fitzgerald, 10, and Braden Wilson on 7. That's quite a way down for the Ramblers, although I don't think they were actually keeping records of their goal kickers. But we'll keep record of that today, though, as the Ramblers now find their way inside 50, and they might take the lead here with that attempt on goal. No, it's away to the right for one behind only, but this is promising work by them. This is absolutely promising work. Scores level. 4.25 minutes gone in this opening term. Good end-to-end footy from both sides so far, and this man's had it on a string so far. Rob Apanui leading from the front for the Eagles, and now they loop away through Lee. A couple of bounces now along the Morat Road wing, and the kick is well weighted as well. Nice control of football here by Exmouth. They get it inside 50 into the direction of potentially Fisher and Co again, but it was cut off. Now charging through there, Bellotti. Grabbed the footy though, but he's okay. Doesn't concede a turnover. We'll get a ball up just inside the forward 50 for Exmouth. Kicking down to the Willersdorf Road end here of Talangi Oval. They get a kick now away from that stoppage in the direction of Fisher again. Got to the front position, knocked it down. No one there at front and centre, so he roves it himself. And then tries to dribble it through, but Ramblers had the goalkeeper stationed on the goal line. Very disciplined work from Leon Pearton and his men there. And we'll get a ball up. Of course, both coaches are playing coaches. Reid in the 35 for Exmouth and Pearton in the 63. At least that's what he had listed for Ramblers. Been a couple of number changes there that we're trying to chase up. Number 9 and number 32, not originally on our list. But anyway, free kick's been picked out here towards Toby Cooks. And slices that kick. Won't get the distance. Fisher got hands to it. Couldn't complete the mark. There at ground level this time was White. Can't find a way through though. No gap there. So Ramblers survive once again, but it might come back here through Brady. However, trying to go back with the flight. Just spilled the mark at the crucial moment, and that allows Laycock to latch on to that. So Ramblers survive that potential rebound as it goes towards their forward 50. Apanui playing for the free kick, but I think he's the one that actually conceded it for front on contact, and it will go the way of Declan Gibbo Gibbings. See if he can find a target who's loose, and he does, despite the best efforts of Norris to get back. Wasn't able to reach up in time, just enough air on that ball by Gibbings, and the shot on goal will come via Django Ryan. Could well be Django Unchained if he can put this one through and get the Tigers faithful from Carnarvon, who had to travel nearly 4 hours to get here. Up off their chairs. It's a beautiful kick. It is Django Unchained. Sensational goal, thoroughly deserved for the Ramblers Tigers, who along with the Warriors this year certainly have had it up against them, with Exmouth beating them almost senseless every time they face them. But they have the lead vitally early on. 1-1-7 to 1 behind. Nearly 8 minutes gone here in the opening quarter. But we do need to let you know, though, it is blowing a very strong wind down that right of screen, so the coin toss vital to win early. So the clubroom end is the scoring end. So Ramblers will need a lot more than just that one goal to put themselves in some sort of advantage. They go forward again here. Mr. Anonymous, number 9, he's one of the numbers that we've got to try and chase up. Goes to left half forward, but cut off there by Murphy. And now Exmouth control footy through Wilson along the Morat Road wing. They get it to right half forward. I think Mullen's going to have this shot on goal. It's a poor kick. Tumbles out of bounds. Lucky to stay in the field of play, was it? No, it actually did travel full distance out of bounds on the full. The kick back in. It was off Williams' boot. Wasn't the best, but it's going to work out anyway towards the skipper in Byron. Missed the finals, if you don't mind. And that one there carries the over the opponent's heads. Bilcic does well. Cousin of South Fremantle's Glenn Byron. Byron name very synonymous in this league in this part of the world as they get it all to inside 50, but the numbers here favour the Eagles. Brady now, he's had plenty of it early as well. Shorts a pass, and it's okay here to Green, not to be confused with the Australian cricketer Cam Green. The Allan Border medal was on the other night. Forgiven if you didn't know it was on because there wasn't a lot of publicity about it. Travis Head, the winner of it. As Lee found the going tough through the middle there. His handball wasn't effective. Ramblers get it back inside 50. Nice work there from Lansdowne to keep the ball alive for them. Now his opportunity, I reckon it might be Capwell Randall there, the 8. Can't get through. There is Mr. Anonymous once again. And Lansdowne once more fights it along with Robert Panui. And it's locked up. We'll get a ball up. 35 out from the Ramblers' goal. Remembering they are kicking with a huge breeze advantage. So they'll need a few more on top of the one that they've got courtesy of Ryan. Might have a little sneaky chance again here. He nearly was able to trap it, but ran over it. Anyway, it doesn't matter because he had some support behind where he ran to. Green was caught, couldn't get away. And the free kick will be taken by Seth West, the young man who has played all of his career at the Ramblers Tigers. Dedication personified, a bit like the Eagles in the exhibition match earlier today, the Exmouth Eagles. Great to see the girls still loving their footy so much they'll still play whatever they can, even though there's no competition anymore. As West goals, and there is the second for the Tigers. Good start, but they need to keep the foot on the accelerator to make full use of this wind advantage to the right of your screen. 2-1-13 to 1 behind, nearly 11 minutes gone in this first term. And it's still been great end-to-end football from both sides. Not looking to waste too much time with it. Careful kicks here and there, but that's been more of Exmouth's play. But Ramblers, they've been happy to try and get on with it and see if they can catch the Eagles napping a little bit. And they get the clearance yet again here, inside 50. Ricochet's off. Lansdowne was almost an opportunity again for him. West also a chance, but neither could make the most of it. Turnover, and Reid now takes the mark on centre wing on the broadcast side. Towards left half forward. Flat ball, doesn't find Linden. Ramblers again, able to cut off and repel. Ooh, a little early on the attempt there. It's a frustrating rule, that one. Bilcic had every right to go for it, but the old unrealistic attempt paid against him, and it's really a double-edged sword because if you're able to make contact with the football, it's play on, even though the same contact is made to your opponent. And it beats me. But anyway, still, I guess the ball didn't get there early enough. But it doesn't matter because it's been turned back over. Ryan cuts it off, and away they come again. Very open forward line here. This is going to suit them nicely. The mark is taken, I think, by Laycock, the fast-moving centre-half forward, who did latch onto that one like a gazelle, fair to say. He's directly in front, breezing his back. You would think, sans the commentator's curse, that distance will not be a problem, but it depends on the approach. No curse. Beautiful. Accuracy great as well. So Laycock goals, and they've got 3. Now we're starting to cook. If you're a Rambler supporter, 3-1-19 to 1 behind. Saving their best to last, maybe, here in the 2026 GFA Grand Final. Looking for premiership number 46 in their club history. Now, the 3 clubs that still keep this wonderful league alive, not a founding club. None of them are founding clubs. We'll go through those when we get an opportunity. Well, there was the original Ramblers. Talk about them in a second, along with the original Carnarvon team. As Exmouth get it back to right half forward, but once again, the impenetrable wall of Ramblers steps up. West takes it, centre wing on the Murat Road side. Tumbling ball inside 50 is going to work out. Good little stepped handball there from Lansdowne to draw in Laycock, and now Byron snaps around. It's on target, it's another one! Mr. Finals, Mr. Grand Final. And the entire 20 representatives of Ramblers at the moment, causing all sorts of headaches for Tom Reed and his charges to date. 4-1-25 to 1 behind. We had this on the bingo card early on. Well, certainly the Tigers faithful did, no question about it. Four individual goal kickers as well. Good spread, healthy spread. They go inside 50 again here. They are putting the foot down. They are relentless. They're as ferocious as a Tiger would be. As unfortunately at that time, Bilchich couldn't trap it at right half forward, and Exmouth come away again through Howe. A kick sits up, and intended target just pushed out of the way with ease there. Fitzgerald. Disappointment written all over his face. As Forbes accepts the kick, but it didn't go to the required 15. It's okay. He still had time to wheel and go. Right half forward, big pack of players. Presenting there was Lansdowne for the Tigers. Got hands to it, but didn't have anyone though to rove. The kick comes away for Exmouth, but over the line and Lasso free. Taken by Silky Wingman in Django Ryan. Off to Forbesy. Big long kick, using all facets of the wind there. What can happen? Once again, Lansdowne looming dangerous. Handball in, snap around the body, and it misses for 1 behind. That was off the boot of Daly, the club president of Ramblers. We had a jumper change before the match, was listed as 7, but wearing 19. Cody Greatbatch, another one who changed his jumper from 11 to 24. We still haven't got number 9 yet, but we will hopefully get that soon. Also number 32 for the Ramblers Tigers. John, if you can get that for me as well, much appreciated. As the ball once again travels out of bounds, and once again it'll be Lassoud almost in the same spot as the last time, and it'll be taken by Lansdowne. Of course, I am Louis Balzomi, your commentator here on Filming Footy. Big Bluey, the MC, the Exmouth Vice President, and also Micro. Big shout out to him, the Exmouth President. Mountain of work behind the scenes to get this up and running. So we do have confirmation now. So Matt Williams, who was originally 22 on the team list, he is wearing the number 9. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. Now, number 32 is all that we are needing left. So Williams was Mr. Anonymous earlier on. And we've been able to solve that mystery. Inside 50 it goes now once again for Ramblers. Off hands here, the numbers do favour Exmouth, courtesy of Gus McMullen. He's able to find a careful target at right half back, who then follows on to field. So the precision kicking hasn't been too bad from Exmouth so far, but it has broken down around centre half forward and a couple of times deep inside 50. I haven't been deep inside 50 for a little while, but Warren now combines with Chegg Whitten, and he will now get it inside 50 deep, and the leaping, launching Reed takes the mark. So we always talk about captain's goals. This is going a step further than that, a coach's goal. No more vital time than now for Tom Reed, who stutters the approach, Josh Kennedy style. And it's gone wayward at just the minor score. But again, remember the breeze is wreaking havoc down at that Willersdorf Road end. 2 behinds to 4-1-25. We'll just find out in the second term if this is a 4-goal breeze or if it's a lot more. So Exmouth still net in front based on that. But anyway, long kick in. Proves how strong this is all the way past the centre square with just that one possession. As now missing there was Ben Apanui, and off hands another goal is tumbled through. Laycock gets his second. Courtesy of Lansdowne, who has been dynamic as that roving forward. Hasn't got a goal himself, but he has been a huge hand in the majority of their scoring so far as Dav Lansdowne, the 8-time club best and fairest, the 4-time Gascoyne Football Association best and fairest. Now Ramblers out to a 30-point lead. 5-2-32. 2 behinds.
Yeah, they needed to start.
So, can they inflict more pain on Exmouth just to make it that much more difficult? Going to the right of screen in the second quarter. We'll soon see. Whistle on play here, just as Cooks was able to feed it out for Exmouth. Is it his ball? It will be. It's been for some high contact along the way. Well, he won't be the one that takes the kick in the end, so this happened just before he was able to get hands onto it. Anyway, it comes towards centre wing. Once again, the big fella and Reid Norris just out muscled there as it comes back inside 50 for Ramblers. 2-on-1 though favours the Eagles here. Green and Lee combined. Now Lee steers a kick back to centre wing on the broadcast side. Going up early, not bad effort was Bellotti, but the ball was in the vicinity, hence why that was not unrealistic. As they get it back to right half forward, but once again Exmouth able to repel for the moment. This is where they've been breaking down though. Haven't been all the tidiest getting into their attacking half, apart from a handful of moments here and there, but they have been made to pay the other way. The man who we thought was anonymous is now discovered as Matty Williams. He has the ball inside 50. Off hands here. Daly an opportunity and something out of nothing. Special work on the siren. Jake Laycock, you ripper. And he pretty much surprised himself with that effort. And he's got 3. Byron, Ryan and West, the other goal scorers. That's 6 overall for Ramblers. 6-2-38, nothing on the other end as far as goals are concerned for Exmouth, the raging favourites, just the 2 behinds, but we'll see whether they can take advantage of the wind in the second term. Don't go anywhere. You're with Louisville's Amy here on Filming Footy, the 2026 Gascoyne Football Association Grand Final. breeze going down to the clubroom end was utilised, and that's by Ramblers in that first quarter. 6-2, 38-2 behinds. Can they hold Exmouth off this time? Well, not with an early infringement to kick things off in the second term. Norris will take it and send the ball long inside 50 off hands here. Here's the comeback getting started. Blink and you miss it. Matt Linden goals. So this is now the litmus test for Ramblers. They might have a 5-goal advantage on the scoreboard, but we know how dominant Exmouth have been, not just this year, but in the last 4 preceding years. It's a matter of time to see how quickly they can reel this deficit in and then put an advantage their own way. That's the first one down. So back in the middle. Roving this one nicely worn, but had his handball smothered. Ricochets back into the hands here of Big Norris. Dragged off it. Still got the hands free though. Now mopping up here for the Tigers was Readings. Doing well there, the opposite ruck. Inside 50 it comes here now for the Tigers. Off hands, good work from Murphy to get in front of his forward opponent. And help try and get a rebound going for the Eagles. They finally execute that. Howe does hack it away towards left half forward. And now whistles on play here. Might have been an infringement here on Jarby Faithful. And it is. I mentioned one of the many major goal kickers this year for Exmouth. Of course, leading the way, Bailey Fisher. But Faithful, Fitzgerald and Wilson all up there too before we have someone from an opposite side. This one goes off hands for a rush behind. Jeffrey Boddington for Warriors with 7 in his 5 games, ensuring that it wasn't a whitewash top 10 for Exmouth. So 139 plays 6-2-38. 2 minutes gone in this second quarter of the 2026 GSA Grand Final. This will be our first opportunity to see how Ramblers can navigate against the breeze here with their careful kicking. So far, 2 kicks have been successful. Bellotti now takes it. What can the Silky man do? Lateral. High, but it's okay because no one was in the vicinity of Schmidt. So Bonesy decides to go long. It's a worm burner. Dangerous. Still found Gibbings, but straight away he was beset upon by Howe. And we will get a ball up. Crowd of around 1,500 packing out to Langy Oval today. What an awesome sight to see. Plenty of Carnarvon faithful up here as well, making the near 4-hour journey, pilgrimage, 360-plus kilometre drive to get here. Let's do thank Clontarf as well for the supply of the buses for all sides to be able to make the travel up and down between Carnarvon and Exmouth, as now ball comes back inside 50 once again for Ramblers, but Cooks is in the way this time in front of his opposite 15 in Gibbings. The left back pocket. Cook now sends a nice long one, utilising the breeze. Way come Exmouth now through the middle. Good kick too. Presenting here is Reed. Sends a long ball inside to the big bloke Fisher, but just a bit too long over his head. And his minder at the back there. The only man who I still don't have, unless there's been another number change from a listed player in 32, able to take the mark. But Exmouth able to grab the ball back on centre wing and repel back, but not only as far though as Bellotti once again, who is patrolling the centre half back line with a plume so far in this quarter. So the first goal coming within the first 25 seconds, but no concession in the last 4 minutes by Ramblers. So that's a big tick as far as passing that test is concerned. As this one now goes out of bounds off hands for a throw-in over on the Morat Road wing. So we mentioned the first quarter about the Foundation Club. So the league was formed back in 1908. The original Carnarvon Magpies and the old Ramblers, who weren't known as the Tigers, were the two sides who squared off back in those days. Unfortunately, the original Ramblers, we see another ball up here between wing and left half forward for Exmouth, They folded due to some infighting, believe it or not, in 1913 after winning 3 premierships, 908, 11 and 12. And the current day Ramblers, they were formed in 1948 along with the current day Warriors, while Exmouth were formed in 1993. We resume play here off the half-back line for Exmouth. Warren does well. Member of the leadership group, one of the vice-captains. Follow-up kick now deep inside 50. Off hands from Reed. There's Fisher. Can he keep this one alive? No, not quite. Mr. 3-2 does well to just hack the ball away, but unfortunately it travels outside of defensive 50, so it will be a lasso free. Coming back in, courtesy of Brady for the Eagles. So Brady now centering ball. It's a good one. Off hands there. Cook's almost the mark. Linden tried to rip it out of his hands and then go for goal, but it was smothered. Show ball back towards the 50-metre arc here. Exmouth's forward area. Well done there by Murphy to help keep it inside and prevent Gibbons from taking it away. So we will get a ball up. Reed puts his hand up to say, I'll take this ruck. Give Norris a chop out. Just grabs it. Throws boot to ball. Didn't connect. And will sneak away again, but only as far as Ben Apanui. Short ball's okay here to Brady. He's got some time now to steady. Pulls the kick. Too cute, though. Well read by Mr. Finals. In Brett Byron. His brother Glenn at South Fremantle. He clocked up game 100 this year in the Waffle. Congratulations to him. Of course, Riley Bilchich, the cousin, also there for Ramblers today, wearing the 10. As we see Leon Pearton, the coach, getting his first taste of the action that we've called. The nice lock-up tackle, ball up, left half back for the Tigers. And come away here courtesy of a handball received to Linden, who's got their only goal so far for Exmouth. Inside 50, Fisher, nearly off hands, throw in. Right in front of a packed club room here at Talangi Oval. Boy, it was packed last night as well. So great to see the community flock out as that kick from the boundary from McMullen sits up inside the square. Well read. Beautifully well read by the coach in Pearton. The ex-East Fremantle Shark, the man they call Bulldog, had no fear. Barking back and biting that footy. Didn't care if Big Fisher was going to mow him down at all. Unfortunately though, Ramblers, too cute inside defensive 50, knowing that the breeze is going to be tricky getting out of there. They cough it up laterally and the mark is taken by Fitzgerald. He's got a 45-degree angle to work with. And if he can, I reckon, hug that right-hand goal post a little bit. With his left boot, it should be all right. He does hug it. Too much. So it spins away to the right for one behind. So 8 minutes gone in the second term. Exmouth making it a challenge, but not really cutting this lead down by enough, you would think, to warrant them having the net lead. So still advantage Ramblers at the moment. 6-2-38 to 1-4-10. As they get play now. The true centre wing on the broadcast side, the tennis court side. Mark taken by Pearton, but there's a dispute here that it might have been out of bounds on the full. That's what Rob Apanui is pleading, and I think he's going to get his way here. Yep. Gets the court ruling in his favour. Finds the initial kick in from Ramblers guilty. So we'll see what Exmouth can do here with this build-up. It's Brady once again. Good ball here to try and release Lee, but he could not gallop away from Laycock, who's having a game and a half. 3 goals so far. Good chase down tackle, and he's getting stuck right into Ryan Lee as well, and why not? Bit of verbal stoushing for a physical action that was affirmative from Laycock, who can do it all. As unfortunately for Exmouth faithful, unable to repay the faith up forward and keep it alive for them, but it's ping-ponging in between the arcs at the moment, and the voices are really rising around Talangi Oval. It's beautiful here. This atmosphere is something else. As the umpire calls it back for a ball up just before Fitzgerald was ready to steady and launch from 50 towards goal. So now big green in the ruck for the Eagles. Kick comes out. Defence here. Once again, the Ramblers defence holding up okay. And this time, they decide it's just going to be a chaos ball to come out towards left half back. It is a 2-on-2 here, and the ball was fickle for Linden that time. It brings the Ramblers back in with an opportunity. Unfortunately, though, they couldn't make the most of it. Linden gets a reprieve. Towards right half forward, it goes through the hands here of Field. He's got a couple to beat, rides the Schmidt tackle, handball back into Brady. He too is caught and he's gone. Mr. 3-2 gets it. Apologies, I still haven't got his name yet, unless it is a number change. I haven't seen Jack Tierney yet, the rough and tough one, who I had listed down as 29. Could it be? As now Ramblers come away from left half back. A big pack of players. Leading from the front there, Lansdowne, who had a very solid first quarter. Helped him set up plenty of goals. Didn't take that mark. All okay because Bilchich was able to ride the tackle no prior. They've been gone here in the second term. 28-point lead still for the Tigers, and as the longer the quarter goes on, as we get towards that 20-minute mark, with the expected 4-goal breeze blowing down the clubroom end, this is playing into the Ramblers' hands nicely. They are net ahead. In other words, they get a free kick here. Ball last touch out of bounds, last disposal. Schmidt centering back into Daly, the president of the Ramblers Tigers, and he completes the switch over to the right half-back area. Forbesy, and kick just a little too far for Django Ryan to navigate and take. Ball back in the hands of Exmouth. Long ball. Opportunity here. Fisher was there. He didn't actually jump up for that one. Reed did. Now Reed bullocks his way through. Handball superb. Fitzgerald the snap. Does it carry? I think it does. Or does it? No, hit the posts. Just grazed it. Fans at the back were happy. I thought it was okay as well, but the umpire had the best view of the lot and rightfully paid one behind. See, no arc needed. 1-5-11 to 6-2, 38. So the Eagles still pressing, but not effectively lowering the margin down. It was 36 at quarter time. It's still 27 at the moment. Ramblers will certainly take that, no question. As we see another ball up here on centre wing. Chance to thank the major partner once again for the Gascoyne Football Association in Santos, along with plenty of platinum, gold and silver sponsors, all and sundry. Try and get a few out of the way while we get another stoppage. XE Hire, KJJ Group Tyres and more, XE Water and Ice and XE Plumbing and Contracting are our platinum sponsors. Mention, of course, Santos, the major sponsor of the GSA. And this particular event, the grand final, tipping some very, very valuable funds in as Faithful now spins around. Kick tumbling towards Fisher. Does he get a lucky bounce? Secondary? No, not quite. His minder has done a masterful job so far of handling the man who has led all before him in the goal kicking ranks this season. Off hands here, Reed, high ball, not 15. Kitten took the mark. Did he have Pryor? Yes, that's tough. That's tough. Because Braden Wilson was onto him like a light and then shoves him right over. That's almost a reversal. Umpire says steady, steady. But yeah, sitting up there. Didn't go to required distance. Still, you're committed towards the footy. And then as you're leaping up to take it, just as you put your feet back on the ground, immediately you're caught. Fortunately, the umpire, very ruthless in saying that Pearson had Pryor, as the kick is missed. Footy God style. Straighten that one up. Wilson, one behind. Only 15 minutes gone here in this second term. First quarter went just over 20 minutes. We expect it to be all the same. No time on in the Gascoyne Football Association. 1-6-12 for Exmouth. Ramblers 6-2-38. The boil over of the century on the cards at the moment. And Unless they get a secondary goal here. And it's kicked there. No, it's not again. Another miss by Faithful. So Exmouth peppering away. 1-7-13. Bad kicking, bad football. Apologies for being saying Exmouth. That's just my accent coming into the fray here. I'll try and slow it down. Exmouth, as it's phonetically spelt out. I like that. I like that a lot. As we now get play over to the centre wing on the Murat Road side. It's going to be repelled back again here for Exmouth. Inside 50 it goes. Work there by the Ramblers defence to get back in number. Body there to help out. Bailey waiting for it here too, but he just allows Schmidt to fight on. And did he get caught legally? Umpire says he was caught legally. And it's once again Fitzgerald, who's had a very solid second quarter. But no reward. Just the two behind so far for him. Needs to get this one on target. And has the crowd told the right story this time? Yes, they have. So, a belated goal for Exmouth. Sherrill now 1-2, and he joins Matt Linden as the other goal scorer. 2-7-19, the Eagles halfway there to the lead of the Ramblers Tigers, 6-38. Just over 3 minutes left of the 20-minute second quarter of the 2026 GSA Grand Final. As away come Exmouth once again. Slipping just after he takes the mark is Howe, but he did it while behind the mark still, so not called to play on until he stepped off of it. Still, though, the kick wasn't effective enough. The Ramblers are able to clear away. Let's get a few other sponsors out of the way. The gold ones, Galvin's Plumbing, Sea Halves, Idaho, Potshot and Sitzler. Well, the silver ones, there's a lot of those too. Babcock, Exmouth Waste, MS Cabinet Makers, Benco, Exmouth Wholesalers, Pilbara Pest Company, Celebrations, IGA, Sheds Down South, DLR Building, Jetwave, Tackle World, Exmouth Freight and Logistics, and Jups Floor Coverings. So good, careful movement here this time for Ramblers. Forbes involved. Ball now in the hands of Daly, the president. There's a kick of the 45, but neither teammate communicating well enough there to realise that the ball was coming to him. Linden says thank you very much. There's a whistle on play here. Temper's boiling over. The ball's gone through. I think it's going to come all the way back to Ramblers though. So no score to be added on. Filming Footy sponsors, get them ticked off as well. Dartfish, Archie's, Great Southern Fuels, AFGRI, Kimberley Accommodation Group, Delta Ag, UTF Trailers, Corrigan Hotel, Wild Gravel, Alum Lube, Omnibus, Classic Clashes, Gallagher, Premium Grains, Manjimup Gateway Hotel, Pemberton Hotel and Macron. So now Ryan. One of the goal kickers, one of the 4 goal kickers for Ramblers so far today. Helps advance this towards left half forward, still near enough to centre wing. Presenting there was the skipper in Byron, Mr. Finals, but unable to complete the mark. No damage done, out of bounds for a throw-in. Just to the left of our camera position. The great John Douglas is behind and capturing all beautifully. Now, speaking of beautiful, here's an opportunity here for Fisher. Got the wrong bounce. Off cutaway, needed in swinger, one behind. So seconds away from half-time. Exmouth now 2-8-20. 2 more scoring shots than Ramblers, 6-2-38, but not making the most of this breeze whatsoever. With behinds aplenty as that one is spilled over the line and is turned over. Unfortunate there for Voldemort Richards. Now Linden, centering, wants Big Reed and he gets him. Too strong, too good. And surely the coach can't make a mistake here as the siren bellows to end the first half, which now that both sides have had a go at it at the clubroom end, which is blowing around 30-kilometre-an-hour winds, upwards of 42.6. Ramblers have the official advantage, but Reed does cut the margin back crucially by a further 6 points. It's just 2 goals the margin, 6-2-38 to 3-8-26. Big coach's goal there from Tom Reed. He joins Matt Linden and Sam Fitzgerald as Exmouth's goal kickers for Ramblers. Laycock with 3, including one of the best you'll ever see in any competition, right on quarter time, the hack out of the right forward pocket, which surprised himself in and amongst the 1,500 faithful, and yours truly here on commentary. Brett Byron, the skipper, Mr. Finals with 1. Django, the Silky Women Ryan with 1. And Seth, the young man who has been a Rambler faithful all his life, with 1 goal as well. That's half time. Come on back with us for an exciting second half. Can Ramblers pull off the impossible? They're certainly giving themselves the opportunity. Take care.
Footy Analytics made simple. Improve your team performance with My Dartfish Live S. Footy Analytics made simple. Improve your team performance with My Dartfish Live S. Quickly tag key games actions during or after the match. Replay moments from the match, frame by frame or in ultra slow motion. Access richer content, dive into detailed statistics and filter what matters most with ease. Create playlists to show problems or areas for improvement and share them to your team. My Dartfish Live S supports Aussie rules football coaches to optimise team performance.
And welcome back to Filming Footy's coverage of the 2026 Gascoyne Football Association Grand Final. The Ramblers Tigers looking primed and ready to spoil the Exmouth Eagles' undefeated party in season 2026 with a 12-point lead coming into this second half. And yes, it is Exmouth, not to be confused with the English town of Exmouth, located on the south coast of Devon, England. Great pickup, everyone. It means you're paying attention. Love it. Eagles Amy here, back on the call with you. Second half underway. Ramblers looking to see if they can pick up where they left off in the first quarter with the aid of this 30-plus kilometre-an-hour breeze. Opportunity here inside 50. Just pings around. Good tackling pressure, though, from the Exmouth defence. And Agnew now slaps it onto his left boot. But it was a blind sort of kick into the coach Pierton, but that kick was emphatically smothered. Well played by Sam Howe. Of course, Exmouth in Western Australia, Northwest WA, the home of the famous football dynasty Strom family. Of course, Mim Strom and Indy Strom, proud representatives of the Fremantle Footy Club in the AFLW. Mim, the premier ruck of the AFLW competition, who was superb in the international exhibition game against Ireland a week ago. And of course, their brothers Noah and Zach, who have also dominated at waffle level for South Fremantle, both playing in the 2020 Premiership. And speaking of Premierships, that's what Ramblers are looking to do, add to their expansive trophy cabinet with Premiership number 46, but Daly that time missing just near to the right for one behind. We've got the early score, the early scoring pressure in this third term, which is vital. It's fair to say that Exmouth will mount a ferocious challenge in the final quarter. The Ramblers need to add a few more goals again, just to give themselves that safety net. Martini, 29, a rough and tough one. Short into Voldemort Richards, Tom Richards. That one's short and careful as well to Ryan. We'll use Richards again. Just gets there in a nick of time. Fitzgerald bearing down. Richards didn't flinch 1 min. Towards centre wing, the 221s go at it. Bellotti got hands to it. Now, an opportunity. Howe just losing his footing over some felled opponents and teammates, if you will. Some support here, though. Fitzgerald does beautifully. Coughs the footy up, but then it comes back into him. Regain control, but unfortunately, though, that slight bit of hesitation as he lost control of the footy affected the kick. Turnover inside 50, out the back here. Opportunity, Gibbings. His feet just got in the way. Kick off the ground, out of bounds. There is that packed house once again. The bar with every TV affixed to this telecast. It's beautiful to see. Big shout out to our girls in the bar as well. Peter, Kylie, and also Kimmy. Big thanks to Kimmy as well for providing our sponsor sheet. And as that ball sails out of bounds on the full and the right forward pocket for Ramblers. Speaking of those sponsors, the major partner Santos for the GFA I should say, along with the platinum sponsors XE Hire, XE Water and Ice, XE Plumbing and Contracting, KJJ Group Tyres and more. Return to that expansive gold and silver list in a little while, as we see now what Exmouth can do with footy in hand here. Gus McMullen on right half back drives the ball nice and long. Decent amount of meterage gain there, considering how strong the wind is blowing in his face. And now this one's tied up and we ball up through centre wing on the Morat Road side. Galvin's Plumbing, Sea Halves, Idaho, Potshot and Sitzler are our gold sponsors for the GFA. That one is swatted right down by Ramblers, but kick is astray. Norris comes in and takes the intercepts. Sends the ball long. It's a good presenting mark too. That's what we want to see more of from Bailey Fisher. Although preferably closer to goal when it comes to the detriment of kicking against the breeze. And he realises even his big boot can't make the distance. So he goes short here to Faithful. Jarby, decent pass. Just eludes the target in Wilson, but he's got a chance now to latch onto it and snap. And he puts it through. First goal, kick down the Willisdorf Road end for either side. that could be a turning point. So Wilson adds his name to the goal kicking list along with Linden, Fitzgerald and Reid for Exmouth, and they close the gap to a nervous 7 points. 4-8-32, Ramblers 6-3-39. Have Ramblers got enough in the tank to restore enough of a buffer to then hold off an Exmouth last quarter challenge? They get the clearance here towards 50, towards left half forward specifically. Gibbings unable to control it. In comes Murphy, but took too long. Good tackle by Laycock. 3 of the best goals you'll see, especially the third one in that first quarter, and that should have been 50, should it not? Way close to him. Umpire giving Murphy the benefit of the doubt there to go back onto his mark and then stand. Maybe some common sense there, who knows? AFL certainly doesn't have any of it. Laycock definitely does. He goes for home, he can't miss. Forget about how strong the breeze is. That is a bomb in any language. One that even would make Malcolm Blight proud. 7-3-45 to 4-8-32. Ramblers respond. And a timely goal kicked by Laycock, who is certainly a candidate for the Archies beanie and thongs today. Not that you'd need a beanie on a beautiful summer's day in winter here in Exmouth. As now, we'll see what the Eagles can do in response. They have got that vital goal down the left of screen, courtesy of Wilson, but they've conceded one back the other way. We'll see if Ramblers can build on it now. Ryan, all inside's okay. A control play to right half forward. That's as far as they go though. Over the top of Lansdowne. Now once again, a plea for 50, this time not going the way of Exmouth, so it does even things up somewhat. Even though it didn't phase Laycock in the Yanks, he still booted it from 60 deep. Anyway, kick comes into the hands of Reid, who gets it off of his shins. Beautifully done. Away they come now through field. Left foot kick just as he was brought down in the tackle. Did enough to affect the kick and allow Forbes to spoil in front of Faithful. And out of bounds it goes. Left half forward for Exmouth. Again, just referring back to the Strom family, we mentioned Nim Strom. The main allegation is, and I mean allegation in a good way, that she was the last baby to be born in actual Exmouth, apparently. She may well allegedly lay claim to that. As we resume play here, Faithful, I should say, comes through. Now White, handball back into heavy traffic though. Bit of a problem now for Exmouth again. White tries to mop up his own mess, doesn't really succeed. Leon hears the call that was sort of touched off the kick coming away of Readings, and now Exmouth apply beautiful forward pressure, holding the ball. Murphy free kick, he's moved up from defence, and that is a sensational mark in front of Fisher. I wonder if that's Mark Richards out there, the pest. I haven't seen him yet, and he was listed as number 2. Maybe he's the one in 32. Correct me if I'm wrong, I apologise if I am, but sadly don't have 32 there. And he's been really vital. He has been important as anyone, with his job on Fisher today. He's a candidate for the Archies. Well, yeah, sadly I haven't got an official name for him, as that one comes back into the hands of Reid. Coach for Exmouth now trying to find an avenue to goal, but the opposite coach, courage personified, Pearton, over the top of Fisher, takes a ripper.
63 now.
And no flinching at all on the landing, which was quite tough and excruciating for the mere mortal. Beautiful play there from the man formerly of ex-Fremantle. As now Laycock comes away, long centre wing, inside the middle, over the top of Matty Williams though. Turnover again. Jules Murphy once more for Eagles. That one there missing Brady. His opposite 10 able to cut that off in Bilchich. Inside 50 now for Ramblers. Bodywork was not bad there from Daly, but his opponent was able to still get the spoil in. Running onto it was Williams, but he was caught. Woody's still going at a frenetic pace here, and we absolutely love it. Here on Filming Footy. That ball just stays inside the field of play. Norris does well and then rides the tackle out of bounds. We'll get the silver sponsors for the GFA out of the way now. Babcock, Exmouth Waste, MS Cabinet Makers, Benco, Exmouth Wholesalers, Pilbara Pest Company, Cell Operations, IGA, Sheds Down South, DLR Building, Jetwave, Tackle World, Exmouth, Freight and Logistics, and Jups for coverings. I think the umpire might tell the boundary. Let's just have another go at that. While for Filming Footy, our sponsors, Darfish, Archie's, Great Southern Fuels, Afgri, Kimberley Accommodation Group, Delta Ag, UTF Trailers, Corrigan Hotel, Wild Gravel, Alum Lou, Omnibus, Classic Splashes, Gallagher, Premium Grains, Manjimup Gateway Hotel, Pemberton Hotel, and also Macron. As Exmouth advance a little bit further. Fortunately, this time they haven't got someone in the vicinity to run it over the line. Faithful was there, but didn't get there in time. That one a true free kick of the Lasso variety. As Forbes now goes on. Got the initial free kick for high contact. No one on the mark. Played on. Didn't hear Faithful coming. Turnover, but only for the split second. Capwell Randall does well to cut it off here for Ramblers. Beautiful play, as that one now is skied up by hand. Off hands now. Faithful. Inside to an open forward line. Beautiful mark. Well guarded by McMullen. The sun in his eyes. Had the shield, but put body in around the protection zone of the drop. Well, the drop zone, if you will. And gave his opponent, his defending opponent, absolutely nothing to work with. So Angus McMullen to bring the margin back to 7 points. Most importantly, a second goal against the Breeze. Not bad, it's very good! Got the late swing. That is off the top shelf from Gus McMullen. In the context of this game, that one's right up there with the Laycock soccer off the ground at the quarter time siren. 5-8-38 to 7-3-45. What a beauty this 2026 Gascoyne Football Association Grand Final has been and is continuing to turn out to be. As we go back through the season, based on recorded results, the closest anyone's gotten to beating Exmouth this year was their last home and away game against Warriors, and that was a 19-point win by the Eagles on that occasion, back last month on the 18th of July in round 11. Other than that, they've been quite sizable. Last time these two sides played, it was a 129-point win to the Eagles down in Carnarvon. Reads this is one inside 50. Fisher able to create a front and centre here for Faithful. Handball was good to Agnew as he drew two opponents in. That one there across the face, but it might still work out. No, it doesn't. Ramblers defence do well to just halt that goal kicking attempt with a timely tackle in the goal square. And now they've got the opportunity to steer away through Bilchich. Now can release Tierney. One bounce. On the left, steering pass over the head of Readings. Didn't read that one all too well. Getting back there, the big man Norris. Speaking of reading, that's in his name. And he did it like a book on that occasion. Now, looks. Oh, that one there too fickle for Agnew. Coming in to lend a hand though is Field. Can't find Agnew back though. Bellotti cuts through. Ramblers clear away from centre wing here on the tennis court side. Not far enough though, from left half back. Rebound commences. Cooks with the handball receive. Steering up into Faithful, who's working his way into the game as every minute ticks by. Had a few to beat though that time. Coach involved there in Pearton, along with Forbes. They work it out in triangle formation. Unfortunately, the kick though is a straight. Mark taken by Brady. Exmouth go towards that dark forward again. Reed certainly imposing himself on this contest, the coach. Would expect nothing less from him. One bounce, well trapped in the left mid by Linden. This is going to be some goal if he can make it there. Not quite. Schmidt goes back. He can't quite take it. He's got all sorts of problems now. Out-wrestled, out-manoeuvred, outsmarted by Fisher. And he kicks his first of the grand final. 45th recorded goal this season. And we are back to a 1-point ball game. Advantage, net advantage based on the wind in Exmouth's favour. 6-8-44, Ramblers 7-3-45. 15 gone in this third term. The pendulum keeps on a swinging. Wow, catch your breath. This is absolutely something else. I'm sure now 3 lovely ladies behind the bar would be working extra overtime at the moment in Peter, Kylie and Kimmy, because everyone would need an extra couple because of how much energy they're utilising in their fandom and their cheering and everything else, and just sheer amazement at the quality of football that we are seeing here on Talangi Oval, or Talangi Oval I should say. As the Ramblers get it towards left half forward, tackling attempt there by Great Batch. Haven't seen a lot of him so far today in the 24. Can't keep it alive for them. Exmouth get it to right half forward, but stopping there is Bellotti. He's done well in this quarter. Comes away, but well read by Apanui, who went quiet in the second term, had a big first quarter, started off like a house on fire, and now looking to restore order. Back in defence there for the Eagles. Kick though, doesn't find a target. Agnew was there, so was Brady, but it's back into Ramblers' possession. Hurried kick inside 50, it carries the big pack. Can it sit here for Daly? He didn't have anyone behind him, no. The only one there was Ryan, but he was outnumbered. And Exmouth clear away once again, and it's an open centre wing here along the tennis court side, now broadcast position. One bounce taken by Linden, draws the opponent. Sweeping handball is good here to White. White steering pass is fantastic to Faithful. Gets some extra attention from Bellotti, but the umpire says it's okay. Plays on, gets it into the goal square, off the ground. Fisher gets his second, and Exmouth finally break through the damn wall. Not just a net lead, it's now a gross lead on the scoreboard. 7-8-50 to 7-3-45. You knew it was coming. Maybe not as frenetic as in this term against the Breeze, but they have kicked 4 goals to 1 against the wind. It is a tsunami of pressure now from the back-to-back-to-back premiers, looking to add a 4th on that tally. Ramblers continue to get the centre clearances, but this time they're becoming more and more shallow and less direct to teammates. Sliding in nicely there, Field almost pirouetted out of that. Got it clear to Cooks, dragged down, but still got the kick away. Centre wing on the Murat Road side. Comes at the back here, spills to Bellotti, tunnel ball style. Left kick is not bad. Gets some good meterage. Over the head of Laycock though. Can he make the ball talk? Yes, he can. 5th goal beckoning for him. And Ramblers get the lead back in a flash. Just when all hope seemed to be lost in these last few minutes, in case of emergency, break glass, and Jake Laycock appears, the fast centre half forward, fast becoming a potential best on ground today with his bag of 5. What a 2026 grand final we have been entertained by. We haven't had too many close ones in recent years. Completely dominated by Exmouth. This time last year, in actual fact. Almost 365 days to the day. It'll be this time tomorrow, where Exmouth triumphed over Ramblers by 90 points in that clash, and that was on Ramblers turf. Anything but a 90-point smacking today. As Benapanui now has the mark at left half back. Long ball, reaching up there, White did well to bring it down. Half controlled it, Schmidt hacked off the ground. Was okay in the end. Method to the madness, if you will. Byron, who's sort of gone quiet now since halfway through the second term, the Mr. Finals skipper for Ramblers, unable to keep that alive at right half forward, near centre half forward. Ball back in the middle. Now ball up, last man up, Wilson with the footy. He's been vital too in Exmouth's revival. Has got a goal. Has also had another couple of looks at the goals. Ramblers get it back inside 50 again. Well done, Laycock once more. This time not going for goal. Trying to bring a teammate into this. Can he keep it alive? No. That was Django Ryan that time. Fortunately, though, the ball stayed inside 50. The umpire will allow that to be a throw in rather than a lasso. And there is the three-quarter time siren. Boy, hang on to your hats. Batten down and get ready for the final quarter of your lives in the 2026 Gascoyne Football Association Grand Final. It's a 1-point ball game. Ramblers 8-3-51, Exmouth 7-8-50. A season that began on Anzac Day Eve. Exmouth season didn't begin until round 3. It has 20 minutes remaining in it. Who will hold up the Gascoyne Football Association Premiership Cup in season 2026? All on the line stuff for both sides as we get a holding the ball decision paid the way of Ramblers. And it's Voldemort Richards putting in a sensational tackle to stop Bodie White in his tracks. So let's see what Tom Richards can do here. Hugs the far side wing, the Marat Road side. Where's Lakeyock? He's been the saviour up forward. Not that he's been the only one that's presenting. They've had plenty who have presented well. But he's been the one that has kicked truly the most of anybody with 5. There he is right now, fighting for it. Dragged off it. And now scrapping in his great batch. Does well. Puts a good tackle on. And we'll get a ball up. We are here at the Talangi Oval in Exmouth. Exmouth, the home of the mighty Strom families we mentioned. Of course, the main Fremantle AFLW ruck, Mim, with the claim that she may well have been the last ever baby born in actual Exmouth. Ready for a huge campaign for the Dockers along with her sister Indy for season 11 of AFLW, which of course starts tomorrow night in Melbourne, Marvel Stadium between St Kilda and Carlton. The curtain raisers for Spud's game for the men's game as this one is steered in and cut off by Green for Exmouth. Goes back towards that Marat Road wing. Line high there was Tierney. Brought it down for Ramblers. They regain possession here through readings. That's a beautiful kick too into Bellotti, who's grown in stature in this second half. Some vital rebound work off that half-back line. And now pushing up to the wing here to send this one nice and deep. Maybe that wind's starting to die down a little bit. So that was some good gauge. That's some good gains on that kick. As now Robert Benui into field. That one there is atrocious off his boot. And it'll come back into Bellotti's hands now. So can Ramblers hold on? 51 plays 50. They have the lead. 2.5 gone in this final quarter. 17 and a bit left. Flying high, Agnew. Dangerous here for the Eagles, but able to avoid the danger was Apanui. No prior, says the umpire. Ball up despite the Laycock tackle. Our major partner, Santos. Thank goodness you've come on board at the right time of the year. What bang for your buck you're getting with this kind of display of Gascoyne Football Association footy.
You got him!
As the Eagles clear away. This one here tumbles and tumbles. Almost right at the feet of our legendary cameraman and John Douglas. As it's picked up here by Pearton. 1-2 with Mr. 32. I wonder if that is the best. Again, apologies if it's not, because he has been superb on Fisher today, although Fisher now does have those 2 goals. There's now Williams. Steers a pass in. And Bellotti once more. Feigned to go long, instead went wide. Has it brought him unstuck? I think it has. Readings can't keep it alive. Out of bounds it goes. Exmouth fight on, and that's a big grab. Good fly from Norris. He moves on, but it falls short inside 50. The Readings defence doing it. Sorry, the Ramblings defence doing it beautifully. Mark taken by Forbes. And the Readings will get involved in this play here. No, he won't. Bellotti was a target. That one there cut off nicely by Warren. Wheels and goes. See if he can go nice and deep with this one. He does in the Fisher direction again. Beaten to it by the glove in the 32. Forbes rebounds away, and Ramblers retain possession still inside defensive 50, but they've got time and space to work in here. Here comes Pearton once more, and now Schmidt. And then they call Bonesy. He's got plenty of heart in that skinny frame of his. As away come Ramblers now. Not for long. Mark taken by Agnew on the tumble. In front of Great Batch. Inside 50. And third time's a charm with these entries in this final quarter for Exmouth. They finally find a target who's able to take a mark. And Going back to have the shot will be Gus McMullen, who kicked a pearler in the third quarter against the breeze, which bent back nicely. This time with the aid of it in his back. Starts at left. It'll still fall short off hands. Oh, Wilson, fresh airy. I think Fisher got in his way, unfortunately, and eventually it's rushed over. Will it be paid up behind? Yes, officially it is. And that ties the scores. Extra time come at us, maybe. Replays are a thing of the past. The AFL, the last league that I know of that still utilised them up until 2010. That famous Collingwood St Kilda battle. And of course they abolished it the year after. So 14 minutes remain. Lottie again. Uses up his full 10 seconds. Pokes this one the right half back. Big pack of players converge here. Norris puts the tackle on for Exmouth. Did he go high? Umpire says yes, he did. I think this is Bilchich that's got the footy here. Ollie Bilchich uses up his precious seconds. Off hands at the back. Readings does well. It's an open forward line. How will the ball bounce here? It bounces okay for Apanui, but it bounced a bit too high for him. He wasn't able to break out of it. Good tackle from Gibbings, but thankfully for the Eagles skipper, he had support. Agnew was there. He puts it back now to centre wing on the Marat Road side. Oh, everyone getting in, fighting like their lives depend on it. That's a Ramblers ball. A lot of ramblings amongst all and sundry here as Jake Kirk, the Kiwi. First time we've called him with footy in hand. Has possession. It's okay. Even though the mark wasn't taken, it's still forced forward. I wonder if that was Readings that was helping force that forward and gaining some vital 1% meterage. Anyway, it's a live ball here. Who can win it here for Exmouth? Linden was there, but he just watches a teammate grab onto it, and away they come. And they've got Fisher presenting. Will he have a shot here? It is a strong breeze, as we know. It's still got enough strength in it for him to go the distance. So he does go for home. It falls short to the top of the goal square. 2-on-1 favours Ramblers. And vitally they get a ball up. McMullen doing everything he could. And oh boy, the wry look from the president of Ramblers in Daly, who did not like the extra attention. Gave him a what for. Almost a see you after the game kind of thing, but hopefully it'll just be for a handshake and a bevy. In celebration of what's been a contest for the ages, as Brady now intercepts for Exmouth. Centering balls, a superb ball. Reed takes it. The shot for the go-ahead. Any score will put Exmouth in front. Approaching the halfway mark of this final quarter. Tom Reed, the man entrusted with gathering this side together every training night, every match review, every team selection, and most importantly, every game day. It rides on his shoulders and his boot. It's off target, but it still puts Exmouth in front. Just under 9 gone in this final term. 7-10, 52 the Eagles. The Tigers 8-3, 51. They have not scored at the Willisdorf Road end in this contest, have Ramblers. Could it be that if they do score a goal, because they're behind at the moment, it could be the premiership goal? It's a long way before we determine that, as this one is fought hard by Warren, but I think he is given the free away, has he? Or has he got it, the free? No, I think he's got it. He was the one doing the tackling, not being tackled. So Mason Warren, not to be confused with the late great Shane. Not sure if he's a relation. Anyway, we could all say we were related to Shane Warren in some way, shape or form. Do we miss him? Anyways, the ball comes to left half forward. Kirk has to fight hard. Does well to not concede. Good tackling pressure though, to be fair, from Cooks. But too much in the end. So, well played by Kiwi. Through the high contact. Big decision in the context of this one, as that one there is lobbed up. But it's okay into the coach in Pearton. And he now switches over to Bonesy Schmidt. Little's a space to work with here on the tennis court wing. Towards half forward now. Free kick, is it? No. Yes, I heard a whistle. Ramblers ball, I think, for a push. It will be. Laycock has it. Too far out to score. He won't add to his 5 goals. He'll try to set someone else up. It was too low of a kick, though. The Exmouth defence were right on top of it. And away they come. Handball to Lee. Can he break free? No, and he took too long. Didn't have anyone in support to get the handball off to. Well trapped by Pearton. Big coach's moment in the context of this grand final. Off to Ryan. Steers a pass in. It's spilled and spoiled. Still plenty of Ramblers players around it. Lands down there, and he's caught in the gang tackle by Lee, and also Ben Apanui will have a ball up. 35 out from the Ramblers goal at the Willisdorf Road end. Remember, they have not scored at that end in this game. They need to win the premiership, as that one might have been accidentally off the boot before it went over the line from Ryan. No, he got away with that. Thought it might have been accidental out in the full. No, the umpire said throw it in. Back outside of Ramblers 50 though, so this will favour Exmouth. And away they come. Where's Big Fisher? There he is. Infringed this time. One of the rare blips on the gloves day in defence in the 32. Apologies, we haven't got his official name. I'm not keen to go with someone else's in case it's wrong. Could be the Pest. Mark Richards, one of the ones I haven't called a lot of today. Will Dermanich is another one who was listed at 25. Could well be as well. But anyway, we certainly know who number 37 is for Exmouth. Bailey Fisher. 12 gone in this final quarter. Is it one hand on the cup for the Eagles? Well, it's 2 hands on this footy now, and it's the coach. And a cheeky little grin too. Maybe a grin of relief that he held on to that one. And he can soak up the 30 and put Exmouth a kick and a bit clear. And he does. Double gun celebration from Tom Reed. And doubles his goal tally. And he may very well double the back-to-back fortunes. +1 for Exmouth. Seven, 8-10. From 7-10 to 8-10. 58. Plays 8-3, 51. And he joins Fisher with 2. His first one, Reed, came on the stroke of half-time. And that one there on the stroke of what may well be another premiership for the Eagles. They're 11th overall and they're 4th in succession. So it will be 2 lots of back-to-back. As we have an injury concern here at right half forward for Exmouth. So Ramblers play down as at the coach, I think. Yeah, I believe so. In Pearton, he's up on his feet. He's going to wave the trainer off in the run-up and say, I'll keep on fighting on, and why not? With 6 minutes remaining. Lots a bit of change. There's Faithful, scrapping hard, locking it up for a ball up. As I mentioned, the last premiership one that wasn't by Exmouth was in 2022, courtesy of Ramblers. And they beat Exmouth on that occasion by 66 points. As you see now, ball into the hands of Ryan, who's gone back to lend a hand for Ramblers. But it does mean they're a few down up forward, along with Byron. What can Mr. Finals do here? He kicks it back into heavy traffic, but Lottie was onto it. He's able to squeeze the kick out, but there's no one home. And that's the risk you take. High risk, high reward. Unfortunately, it's also high consequence, as they had no one up there to go to, Ramblers. And it comes back into right half forward territory for Exmouth, but only for a moment, as McMullen couldn't keep it alive. And I think it's a lasso free to Ramblers, is it not? No, it's actually an Exmouth ball. I stand corrected. Fisher, hands to it. Reed, front and centre. Sweeping handball. Does it open the door here for Fitzgerald? Can't quite get there. His lungs must be heaving at the moment as he continues the fight on. Pleads for deliberate against Bilchich. Doesn't get it. And we'll have a throw in. Major partner for the GFA, Santos. Our platinum partners, XE Hire, XE Water and Ice, XE Plumbing and Contracting, KJJ Group Tyres and more, loving what they're seeing. And certainly getting return on their investment as another ball up is affected here. Lyndon can't break away from the tackle. In fact, it might have been Field, I think. Sorry, Ben Field to 2, not the 12. So a little under 5 minutes remaining. All playing to Exmouth's hands now. They're happy to just go stoppage after stoppage after stoppage, knowing there's no time on. Galvin's Plumbing, Sea Halves, Idaho, Potshot and Sitzler, our gold sponsors for the GFA. Offense here, chance for Wilson, dispossessed. Fighting hard with all his might, Forbes, can't find a gap through. Now it spills out, Field to seal it. There's your premiership. It breaks my heart to say it to Ramblers fans, but I feel like Ben Field has sealed their fate. And Exmouth on track for 4 in a row. And they're 11th in the Gascoyne Football Association. 1964 to 83-51, but boy oh boy have they had to fight tooth and nail for this one. In 2023, they defeated Ramblers by 112 points. 2024 it was 64 points. Last year 90 points. Anything but a big margin today. 13 is their biggest. Remembering that Ramblers had a 36-point lead at quarter time, but with the aid of a 4-goal breeze. And really the third quarter was what turned this game on its head for Exmouth, managing to kick those goals against the breeze, which Ramblers still have not achieved yet. And we have 3 minutes left in this grand final. There's the ball now at right half back for the Eagles, Agnew, who's been superb as well. Cool in the crisis, off to Reid. His leadership has been second to none. Caught, holding the ball that time, but it shouldn't really matter too much, you would think. With time the enemy now for the Tigers. Ryan takes the mark at centre wing. Handball, back into the hands of Mr. Finals. Byron the skipper, sends it inside 50, and that's the story. The more this game's gone on, the more those one-on-one battles have been won by Exmouth. As Field now takes the mark at centre wing. And he continues on. Inside 50, Reid again. Gathers it. Gets around the would-be tackler of Daly. Coach against President there. Fisher now on hands and knees. Handball back towards Fitzgerald. I think it might be pushing it back to Fisher, is it? Yes, it is. So if it wasn't a sure thing with Ben Field before, you can add it to death and taxes with this kick. Exmouth will win premiership number 11, which will now take them 1 ahead of the Warriors, whose last flag was back in 2018, which broke a then 32-year drought. But we're not worried about them because they're not here on this last day. Exmouth are, and Exmouth are premiers in 2026. Fisher held goalless in the first half. 2 in the shadows of 3/4 time. And 1 now in the shadows of the final quarter of season 2026. Sends Exmouth out to an unassailable 19-point lead with just over a minute remaining. But Ramblers, as much as it'll hurt you to do so, still hold your heads up high for what has been a phenomenal performance by all of you who have pulled the Tiger jumper on, as the kick now comes in and it's a fait accompli right now. Sam Howell will go back and have the shot and look to become the 8th individual goal scorer for Exmouth. Let's thank the Silver Partners for the GFA while he takes that shot. Babcock, Exmouth Waste, MS Cabinet Makers, Benco, Exmouth Wholesalers, Hilbert Pest Company, Celebrations, IGA, Sheds Down South, DLR Building, Jetway, Tackle World, Exmouth Freight and Logistics, Jups, Floor, Coverings, just in time to see the kick go through. Take nothing away from Exmouth, but it didn't really deserve to have a mini blowout in this final quarter. But that's just a testament to what they've been like, not just this season, but all the way back to 2023. Irresistible, unassailable, impenetrable, indestructible, back to back to back to back. Congratulations to the Exmouth Eagles.
Now listen, we're stepping out. I'm gonna turn around. Gonna turn around once and we'll do the evil run.
The Eagle Rock. Beautiful song. Laycock with 5 goals was excellent for Ramblers, but unfortunately only to one end of the ground. Couldn't get him at the Willesdorf Road end, which they needed at least a couple of those to get the job done. Brett Byron, the captain, Ryan and also West with goals for Ramblers, while for the Premiers, Fisher with 3, all in the second half. Reid with 2, 1 on the stroke of half time as well, which was vital. Fitzgerald 1, Howe 1, Linden 1, McMullen 1, Wilson 1, and Field with 1. As far as best players are concerned, I'd nearly want to give a tick to all 40 of them out there because they played with such heart. However, let's go with definitely Laycock with his 5 goals. I liked Bellotti's work as well, especially in the second half off the back line. His third quarter rappelling was superb because it could have really been an avalanche going the other way. Daly was prominent early on. Byron was good early, probably faded away a bit late. I really love Lansdowne's forward pressure work. Django Ryan was busy as well. So they're probably my best 6 for Ramblers, while over the other side, Exmouth, definitely the coach Reid. And I think it's fitting that he should get the Archies for being the best on ground today, because with his leadership from the second quarter onwards, he just helped galvanise the group and did what a true playing coach would do. Apanui Rob, the captain, was superb early, probably a little too quiet in the second and third quarters, but then bobbed up again late. He was also quite handy for the most part. I also liked Harry Agnew's game. I really liked Cooks' fight all the way through. Linden started to help get things going in the second term as well, kicking Exmouth's first goal. And Faithful was pretty handy too, without getting a lot of fanfare up forward, especially in the second half. Definitely the third quarter, when Exmouth were able to kick goals the other way. Didn't get one himself, but helped create quite a few chances. But as far as my overall best on ground is concerned, actually, Spera thought also Sam Fitzgerald was quite handy too, being that tall interceptor through the middle. But I would dare say, for mine, the coach, Tom Reid, gets my nod as the Archies' best on ground. We'll do one last cheerio to the major sponsors and to all involved before I say farewell and we get to the presentations. For Filming Footy, Dartfish, Archies, Great Southern Fuels, AFGRI, Kimberley Accommodation Group, Delta Ag, UTF Trailers, Corrigan Hotel, Wild Gravel, Alum Lube, Omnibus, Classic Clashes, Gallagher, Premium Grains, Management Gateway Hotel, Pemberton Hotel and Macron. For the Gascoyne Football Association, our major partner, blessed to have them on board, especially for this weekend in Santos. Platinum sponsors, Exi Hire, Exi Water and Ice, Exi Plumbing and Contracting, KJJ Group, Tyres and more. Gold, Galvin's Plumbing, Sea Halves, Idaho, Potshot and Sitzler. And the silver, Babcock, Exmouth Waste, MS Cabinet Makers, Benco, Exmouth Wholesalers, Pilbara Pest Company, Sal Arborations, IGA, Sheds Down South, DLR Building, Jetwave, Tackle World, Exmouth Freight and Logistics, and Jups Floor Coverings. Big thanks to the Exmouth president in Micro, the vice president, who is your master of ceremonies in Bluey, who will look after your presentations from here our end. And a big cheerio, of course, to John Douglas behind the camera and Brandon Woolhouse back home, making sure our broadcast remains on air on YouTube. I'm Louis Bulzomi for Filming Footy. It's my farewell here for the 2026 Gascoyne Football Association Grand Final. Big congratulations to the Exmouth Eagles, premiers for the 4th year in a row.
Footy analytics made simple. Improve your team performance with My Dartfish Live S. Quickly tag key games actions during or after the match. Replay moments from the match, frame by frame or in ultra slow motion. Access richer content, dive into detailed statistics and filter what matters most with ease. Create playlists to show problems or areas for improvement and share them to your team. My Dartfish Live S supports Aussie rules football coaches to optimise team performance.
Yeah. Hand that to the players. Yep. Umpires, can you make way over here, please? Mick, bring the umpires over. Yeah. The keep the fairest and best medal we have to. Yeah. So we lead the goal. I need a comp. So I'll get Fraser up first, or Fraser, are you or Leon coming up? Right. Hey? Yeah, get up and standing. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, they give it to me.
They should be here.
They voted for, but they told us tonight.
They should be over here.
I told them to come over.
Umpires. Tom, Budgie, over here.
They're still doing a count. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll make a start. So if we can have a little bit of shush at the bar, if you don't mind. Can I have your attention for a moment, please? A little bit of shush over there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic day, what a fantastic game of football for the Gascoyne Football Association. So congratulations to both teams on a fantastic game today. We'll start proceedings off today as a GFA. The first one will be the leading goal kicker award. Can I have from the Exmouth Eagles Football Club, Bailey Fisher, come aboard. A total of 44 goals, Fish, fantastic feat, mate, and a great season. Of course I do. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, boys, for another ripper season. Congratulations to our boys. Keen to go again next year.
Well done, Fish. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Gascoyne Football Association Fairest to Best Award is still being counted, so that will be done at a later date. I'd now like to call Fraser up to say a few words on behalf of Ramblers. Yeah, for the old boys.
Yeah, thanks, Bluey. Firstly, congratulations to Exmouth. Fantastic all year, undefeated. You're a testament to the GFA. To our boys, another tough year. We'll bounce back, fit us stronger, and hopefully give these guys a run again next year. And I'd just like to thank all the volunteers, especially from our side, Taddy, Al, Sharky, Ash, all the supporters that travelled. And then just to all the volunteers that made today possible. Thank you very much.
Good on you. Thanks, Fraser. I'd now like to call upon the Exmouth Eagles coach, Tom, to come forward.
Cheers, boy. Firstly, thanks, Ramblers. Massive game, big effort. Like, it's a big distance to travel. We really appreciate the way you guys turn up every time. we're scheduled to play, so really good. And really good game today, so thanks for that. Just before I get to our boys, thanks to the Exmouth community. Massive, heaps of work goes on behind the scenes to put on a day like today. So thanks for coming out and enjoying it. And lastly, cheers boys, good work.
Okay, Tommy, stay here, because now we're going to call each player up to receive their medal.
All right, we'll start with Spissy. Yep. And Harry. Sam. Ryan. Toby. Scoobs. Maddie. Fish. JK. Meso. I'll slow down a little bit. Slow down a little bit. Benny. Cam. Good Benny. Sammy Fitz. Bodie. Jarby. Brayden. Benny. Reid. Good Benny. Pete. Gus. And our captain, Rob.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, Tom, the senior coach of the Exmouth Eagles Football Club. Yeah, just wait. Yeah, stay there, stay there.
Any more balls? You got 4 more kids?
We'll get one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of shush and we'll get wrapped up very soon. Okay, I'd now like to call upon our South Fremantle Football Club zone rep, Mick Kane, to come up and present the best on ground on behalf of our umpires. And just on that, I'd like to thank the 3 umpires, Bungie, Cam and Foxy from Panawanica. Thanks for coming over and doing that. Great job. Thanks, fellas. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks, Bluey. Outstanding day for the GFA. Wonderful turnout from the crowd and a terrific grand final between Ramblers and the Eagles. And the best on ground, as voted by the umps, he rucked all day for the Eagles, number 30, Reid Norris.
Well done, Reid.
Cheers. First off, thanks to the Ramblers boys for coming up, putting an awesome fight on. All the sponsors, everyone that could put such an event together, Maddie, Micro, Kimmy, everyone behind the scenes. And thanks to the boys for getting the dub. And let's go again next year, boys.
Okay, can I have Tom and Rob back up here to the stage, please? inside. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Gascoyne Football Association, I'd like to now present the Premiership Cup to the Exmouth Eagles.
Footy analytics made simple. Improve your team performance with My Dartfish Live S. Quickly tag key games actions during or after the match. Replay moments from the match, frame by frame or in ultra slow motion. Access richer content, dive into detailed statistics and filter what matters most with ease. Create playlists to show problems or areas for improvement and share them to your team. My Dartfish Live S supports Aussie rules football coaches to optimise team performance.